Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So I felt like talking about some basketball, and I came across this article. It's titled Biggest 2019 NBA Draft Questions for Every Lottery Team. So I thought we'd go through each and every one of these. I did not know what these questions are, so I'm going to be like answering them just kind of like off the top of my mind, and just kind of going from there, man. So yeah, I'm also rocking my Pistons gear. They play the OKC Thunder tonight to the making of this video. I'm hoping by the time you watch this, the Pistons took a W out there, but we'll see about that, man. I'm really nervous about their playoff hopes. But yeah, I want to start doing like more videos like this, just being able to talk to you guys, and it's not, I don't really want to call it like a podcast, but just kind of going over some different NBA information and stuff like this. I really enjoy doing this type of videos. So also, man, let me know in the comment section below, okay? I've been trying to diet, and let's just say, man, I have not found, I know what it takes to diet, but give me your guys' tips in the comment section below, man. Like what would you say works best for you when you're going through that stage? Damn, dude, I tried doing the damn Atkins diet. I lasted 2 days, bro. I lasted 2 days. I mean, I've done it, like, in the past, like, keto and stuff like that. But, damn, it just never seems to work out for me. Like, it works, but then it doesn't work. So, I don't know if I gotta start, like, counting calories or macros or, doing all that stuff out there. But that's a little beginning of the video rant. Also, before we start going through this, if you guys can do me a quick favor, please, and drop a like on this video. It would be greatly appreciated, man. Trying to, get that momentum going with the channel again. I will say that the past few months, the channel has been on decline. And as you guys all know, that I am kind of, like, in the route of deciding about my future on YouTube. I know I'm never going to leave YouTube, but I'm definitely, like, in, like, the mindset of, okay, is this no longer going to be a full-time job for me? If you guys don't mind dropping that like and help me grow the channel some more, guys, means so much, man, if you can do that. But yeah, I got this video for us today. Tomorrow morning on Saturday, maybe you're watching this later, I do have a Zion Williamson rebuild going up for the Knicks, so that should be fun to do. And yeah, man, let's go ahead and get started on this. So, one question for every lottery team. Hope you guys are all having a great day, by the way. All right, man, here we go. So, New York Knicks. Let me make sure that all looks good on my end. I think it does. Yes, it does. Okay. How will the draft impact New York's massive free agency plans and vice versa? In my opinion, I don't think there's a big effect on it. Like, yeah, if they get Zion, I mean, players are going to want to play with Zion because he's a fantastic rookie. He might be the next LeBron James. He might be the only Zion Williamson. I think that's probably the best way to put it. But I will say, like, if a Kevin Durant or a Kyrie Irving or a player like that already had the mindset of going to the New York Knicks, I don't think a rookie is going to change that all that much. Like, nobody's going to be like, oh no, they ended up getting Cam Reddish. I don't want to go to New York anymore. I really don't think there's any case. Unless they just go out there and make the stupidest draft choice possible. Just like, just a blasphemous, man. You're just like thinking about it. It's like, yo, who in the right mind could do that pick? Then yeah, maybe a guy like Kyrie or Kevin Durant starts to like question the management a bit more than they probably already are because some other situations go on in New York in years past. But I don't think it makes that big a deal, man. Really, I just don't. I mean, it's whatever. Phoenix Suns. What's the plan here? Okay, so going into the offseason, what is the plan for the Phoenix Suns? What do they need to do exactly? I think they need to go out there and they need to get John Morant. John Morant is the answer. I feel like even if they get the first pick and the chance to get Zion is there, I mean, yeah, I did just say he could be the next LeBron James, but at the same time, Devin Booker's great. I feel like Josh Jackson's still potentially good. Kelly Oubre, bring him back. He was a 20-point per game scorer after the All-Star break. Got DeAndre Ayton out there. TJ Warren, when he's healthy, he's a 20-point per game scorer in the NBA, man. So I just kind of feel like when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, their last piece is that point guard, and then they have their team. It's just all about them developing together, getting a bit more older, a bit more mature. Devin Booker is, 22? So it's not like he's like thinking, man, my prime years are being wasted. This man's not even entered his prime yet. So I think point guard obviously is the plan. Maybe bring in a few locker room guys, a few veteran guys for the bench unit, just kind of help gel things together, and I think they're probably good to go in that case. Next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is Colin Sexton a cornerstone player? So when I think of cornerstone, I think of, the guy that you build around to win an NBA championship. First, do I think Colin Sexton is a great player? Yes, I do. I feel like he's going to be a fantastic point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. As far as a cornerstone, though, okay, because I know he has the ability to score the basketball, but there's another player in the NBA that has the ability to score, and that is Kemba Walker at the point guard position for the Charlotte Hornets. I would say Colin Sexton, I would say his ceiling is around a Kemba Walker level type of player. Now, would I say Kemba's a cornerstone? No, I wouldn't. I don't think Kemba can be the main guy on a championship team. Can he be a second option, a third option? Yes, he can. And that's what I feel about Colin Sexton. He'll never be the man to win you a championship, but he can be the man, like second or third. I'll probably say a second option, depending who that first option is on the team. But he'll get there someday, I think, just not the cornerstone of the team. Next up, we have Chicago Bulls. What's the plan at this point? Well, talking to some Chicago Bulls fans, it seems like a lot of people don't like that man on the screen in front of you, Chris Dunn, saying that he's not a starting caliber point guard. So I like Lauri Markkanen out there. Wendell Carter's nice. Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, his stat line was insane this season. Some people might think that it was a little inflated for being on a bad team, but nonetheless, he still put up those numbers. I think it's the same case as the Phoenix Suns. They need like their go-to leadership point guard. Otto Porter's, he was nice for the team, I think, although he still has a very large contract, so I don't know how that exactly affects their cap space. As far as somebody I'd like to see them draft, I do think an RJ Barrett would fit into this team nicely. It's just, if you do that, though, then a guy like Otto Porter or Zach LaVine, you got to decide on that. Like, are one of those guys, like, is Zach LaVine going to play point guard? Is RJ Barrett going to be playing point guard? I think like a playmaking guy like that definitely would help the squad out also. Once again, man, if they have the opportunity to get Ja, you obviously go for him. As far as other point guards in this draft, I'm not going to lie, man, I don't know, who the next great point guards are. There's one guy, Darius Garland. I'm pretty sure he's a point guard. I've not paid a ton of attention to college basketball, if I'm being honest, this season, but I believe that's a point guard that's pretty damn good. I don't know, who are the good point guard prospects besides for Ja? Next up, we got the Atlanta Hawks. How do they best support Trae Young? Okay, so how exactly do you build around Trae Young? Man, I honestly like the team. Like, John Collins is great. I think he would be better off playing the center position. He's 6'10", can shoot the three-pointer. I do think his defense can do some work, but I think a big part of his defensive issues is being a 6'10" guy playing the power forward position in a league that just goes small ball so much. You put him at center, you put some floor spacers around the man Trae Young here. Of course, Kent Bazemore, I believe his contract's up after the season, so you got some more money in free agency to work with. But you just kind of roll with that. Hopefully you get lucky in the draft and get, what's that one dude's name? Jarrett Culver, I believe. He should be pretty solid. I know he's a good, three-point shooter and stuff, so pretty good score for the team. Something like that. I like Taurean Prince. I know he was on the trade block with this squad already, but I feel like the core is coming together. Now, they are a bit behind the Phoenix Suns, but I think they are going. And I'm not saying that the Phoenix Suns are a better team, because obviously, look at this. Although the injury issues for Phoenix have been absolutely crazy this season, but I will say from a development standpoint, where it's they got their point guard, they got their forward in John Collins / center, whatever spot you want to put at. They're still looking for some other position. I still think Taurean Prince should be kept around. Kevin Huerter, we'd even really talk about him. I mean, he's been great this season too. So they got some pieces out there. They just have to come together more. Trae Young got to get a few more seasons under his belt, and that team will be good to go. Next up, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. Big question, is Jaren Jackson Jr. a center? It says, in today's NBA, anyone with hybrid 4-5 skills should probably slide a center and be done with it. Yeah, you might say it's the same scenario as John Collins, where he's more optimal at the center spot. Of course, if the lineup's right, he can play the 4-2. It really depends on the matchup and kind of what the big guys are in the middle on the other team and kind of who they got, on the court and stuff like that. You got someone that's attacking the basket, you might want another shot blocker out there. But, yeah, Jaren Jackson, I do like him a lot. I'll just say, he doesn't really need a position. Just use him where he's optimal in the offense. And once again, the Memphis Grizzlies are good to go. Once again, I just think, man, they are also a team that are definitely a few pieces away. And, Jaren Jackson's definitely not a bad start. Dallas Mavericks, what works alongside with Luka Doncic and a Kristaps Porzingis duo? Okay, so you do want the ball in Luka Doncic's hands, mostly. I will say, I don't want to play in the point guard position. I don't mind him being the primary ball handler like a James Harden for the Houston Rockets, but I do want that more natural point guard at the one spot just to keep the offense fluent, because sometimes Luka can get a little bit too crispy with it, and when you have Kristaps out there too, you definitely want a natural point guard that can hit the ball in the optimal position. So, yeah, I like Porzingis probably these days at the center position. And then some sort of small ball 4 out there, maybe like a 3-and-D guy, like an Alfred Camino, somebody like that. Although you want somebody that can crash the boards also. And then, depending on if you want to put Luka at shooting guard or small forward, once again, man, another 3-and-D guy. You don't got to get too crazy with it. You got your 2 star players right there. Now you just want the supporting cast. I think that's fair to say. Next, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. What's Anthony Davis worth? I will say, he is no longer worth as much as he was during the trade deadline when you got that huge offer from the Los Angeles Lakers. Do I see I guess I can see this. If the Celtics lose Kyrie Irving, I think they keep Jason Tatum. If they keep and retain Kyrie Irving, I could see them doing a Jason Tatum-esque trade to get Anthony Davis. Now, how much would I do? I mean, I would do 8. I would do I would do, what's the man? What did I just say? Sorry, man. I go train of thought. See, when I do these unedited videos, it happens. Normally I could just edit that out. I could do it today too, but I'm not going to. Jason Tatum. Yeah, guys, Jason Tatum. I would do Jason Tatum. I could be talked into somebody like a Marcus Smart or a Gordon Hayward simply for the case of freeing up a little bit more cap. Just, maybe to sign some more veterans. But at the same time, Gordon Hayward's he is a veteran type player, so you might want to keep him around anyway. But no, I think it would have to be just like a Jason Tatum type of thing, straight up. And that's kind of what the Pelicans are investing is the youth of Jason Tatum. Although Anthony Davis is extremely young himself, but nobody's going to give up that much stuff to get him a season earlier. But the Celtics, they might do so. They might get a little eager out there. You might even see like Al Horford and Jason Tatum will get it done for maybe, if they could actually get Drew Holiday on that too, that'd be pretty damn nice. Like Drew Holiday and Kyrie in the backcourt, that would be great. Washington Wizards, who will call the shots? Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know anything about I don't pay attention to the GMs and ownership really all that much in the NBA. I will say it's got to be somebody that's prepared to take some heat over the next few seasons. That's the good thing, though. It's like when you are new to a team like that, you almost get like a little grace period of kind of like trying to make up ground for the guy before you. So whoever it is, man, you gotta have somebody out there that can just make smart choices, good investments out there in players and contracts, because John Wall's under contract for quite a while longer, and with him being out for the next year or so, that's not a lot of cap space to work with to build around Bradley Beal. So it's gotta be somebody that's good in that esque and wants to be patient. Minnesota Timberwolves, biggest question: how do we unleash Karl Anthony Towns? It says since the break, he's averaging 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. It sounds like to me he's already released. He's unleashed, guys. I will say this, man. As much as it pains for me to say this, the Minnesota Timberwolves are notorious for having dominant big guys that don't really do much for them because the ownership does not know how to build correctly around them. It's been happening since Kevin Garnett, man. Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love, Karl Anthony Towns, all fantastic players. No heat against them. They always put up great numbers. But it wasn't until KG and K Love went to different teams and found different roles that they had success when it comes to winning games. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what it is. So I guess to answer the question is with a solution before to really unleash Karl Anthony Towns' true potential to be a championship winning center. You got to get rid of them. It's just where Minnesota is these days. Or you have to just completely start new and rebuild around them in a different way and get like some superstars around them, I guess. The Charlotte Hornets. Where's the upside? 2 players on the roster that I say have upside. Besides, Kemba Walker's already on his upside. I still like Miles Bridges. I still like him a lot, man. He's in his rookie season. I think he has that jump. I feel like he has that drive. I feel like he has that shot to be an ideal player right now in the NBA. So, or I guess I should say in a few seasons. The issue is like how patient are the Charlotte Hornets willing to be, because Kemba Walker is getting older. Of course, he's a free agent. And by the time Kemba is out of his prime, Miles Bridges is probably just going to be coming into his own as a player. Another guy I still like, and I've seen a few decent things from this season, is Malik Monk. I mean, Malik Monk was drafted to be a scorer, and I still think he can do that out there. He's also got some damn hops. That dude can throw the basketball down. It's just they are in an awkward place where their guys they need to wait on are not quite going to get there in time for Kemba Walker to be playing his best basketball. So I guess that's the upside, is that you do have some young players on the team that will be great, but you also have a lot of bad contracts. And honestly, the best bet for this team might be to let Kemba Walker go and just start building around those 2 guys and, tank for the next few seasons while those other guys are developing and, open up that next window. Kemba's not going to win that team a championship, man. It sucks to say because, I know they probably embrace this guy like crazy, but it's just how it is. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. So who cares about the draft? I'm sure LeBron does. I'm sure LeBron would love to get somebody out there from the draft. I can't really think of who would be available that they could use all that much because they have so many young pieces on the team already. What this team definitely lacks is the superstar veteran talent besides LeBron James, of course, but that's why they got the max contract space out there. So that's going to be their big concern. But yeah, man, I guess Bol would be kind of interesting because, just having like a 7-foot whatever dude stretching the floor for you like a Brook Lopez does for Giannis. That would be interesting. I think he's a guy that could instantly fit out there. Of course, some 3-point shooters. I don't know what their pick is going to be exactly, so it's hard to really gauge who exactly is going to be available at that point. But yeah, that's probably what I would aim for. Either like a young, athletic, spacing center, or just another 3-point shooter, because this team definitely can use some more of those. Or I guess you could probably look for a backup. I don't want to say a backup point guard. I do think Rondo's going to be back next season, but a point guard to take over as the backup role for eventually when Rondo does leave the team. I think that's probably the best way to go. So yeah, they definitely care about the draft. I don't see why they wouldn't. Next up, we have the Sacramento Kings. Where are the wings? I mean, Harrison Barnes, I would say, is a wing. So let's read through this one real quick here, man. Buddy Hield can strip it, so he's a lock to move, blah, blah, blah. We got Fox, Bagley, blah, blah, blah. Barnes, though, is from Sacramento Needs. He's a suspect defender against wings whose offensive games consist of low efficiency isolations. They also got Bojan Bogdanovic here, who's more of, I would say he's more of an offensive-oriented guy. I mean, I guess the wings are free agency, right? I guess it definitely sounds like they have some more players that they need to acquire. I personally like Harrison Barnes. I like Bogdanovic, too. I feel like he's a nice scorer. But once again, man, I guess when it comes to championship teams, and the Kings definitely are not a championship team yet, I think people just they fail to realize how important the Trevor Arizas of the world are, the PJ Tuckers of the world. Those guys are extremely valuable. It's why the Golden State Warriors have so much success. I mean, yeah, having all those superstars helps, but also having Draymond Green. I mean, yeah, you can argue Draymond Green's stats are down and stuff, but to the championship years, and when they were the most successful, it's when Draymond Green was the ideal glue wing out there, the ideal guy that was doing everything. So if you can find those players, go for it. Going back to the Hawks, maybe they could go for a guy like a Taurean Prince. I feel like he would fit the team very nicely. Next up, we have the uncertain trio. Oh, man. So we're going to probably talk about my Pistons here in a second, too. Brooklyn Nets. What's D'Lo worth? The way he's been developing and the way I know the NBA is when it comes to contracts, some team out there is going to give him a max contract. So we can argue all day about how much money he's actually worth. I'm sure there's a statistical breakdown to note that. But come on, man. We all know that D'Lo is going to get that max deal from somebody. That's what I'm pretty sure he's restricted, right? So just a matter of they match or not. Miami Heat. Does anyone need a solid reserve making 8 figures? The Heat are. I'm sure they're talking about what happens to the player options: Hassan Whiteside, Goran Dragic, and Ryan Anderson. I think there are teams out there that if you took on a Hassan Whiteside or a Goran Dragic for a season, just make a championship run, sure, why not go for it? If you can make the salaries and trades and stuff like that happening. But at the same time, it's I don't really see the Heat giving up those players just because, they are expiring deals. So that is going to be cap space to them, unless it was to acquire some young talent, maybe some draft picks, because let's be honest, man, when Dwayne Wade retires, depending if they make the playoffs this season, they are still kind of in that awkward stage of a rebuild where they're not bad enough to get the top 3 pick in the draft, but they're also not good enough where they're going to get it above the 8th or 7th seed in the Eastern Conference anytime soon. So, yeah, I mean, you got some veterans out there that you can definitely make work, or you can just keep them for a season, and that'll be fine too. The Orlando Magic, who is into contact? The Magic ranked dead last. Yo, my Pistons aren't listed. That means they're going to make playoffs, man, right? Right? Yeah, because they're not listed as a lottery team. The Magic ranked dead last in free throw rate. So who do I think could take that next step and be able to get that contact out there? You would think Aaron Gordon would be that guy, but besides for being able to throw it down with his crazy athleticism, I don't know why he doesn't get the free throw line like that. Jonathan Isaac, I think he can definitely be that guy too, because you look at the team, they got Mo Bamba, who's freaking 9 foot tall. The free throw shooting should be there, so I don't know. I think a lot about a big issue with that though is that they don't have the right point guard to really get the guys going on the penetration of the basket and the screens and all, to really run the offense fluently to where things would happen when you would get to the free throw line. I feel like a lot of time the Magic just kind of run, such a basic offense, but if Markelle Fultz can come back and be a star, then who knows, man? I could definitely see that happening. But yeah, man, that ends the video right here. Hope you guys all enjoyed. This is a lot of fun to make. So if you want some more of these, let me know in the comment section below. There was a website that I used called Sportster. I used them all last year. You guys know that website. I was using them like crazy just because they always had good articles. They shut it down. So it's these articles you can't really find as many these days. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.